Yo, what's up, folks? It's your boy, Beastly Bader, and welcome back to another episode of the Bate Escape Podcast, the podcast dedicated to all things masturbation, soul sexuality, gooning, bader culture. And in today's episode, I have a really fun chat conversation with Trev, the host and owner of Austin Jacks, Austin's premier and private jack-off club for all men, men's health advocate, established in 2022. This is a really fun conversation. I've been really interested lately in bait parties, bait spaces, bait gatherings, sexual spaces that men can come together and share intimacy and sex and masturbation and all those cool things. In this episode, we talk about lots of things. We talk about Texas legislations against sex things, laws on owning too many dildos, recognizing the privilege in living in a liberal state, chatting about men's sexual oppression, and trans men in bait spaces. And we also play a really fun game of Goon or Gone. So stick around to the end, listen to that. Hope you enjoy this episode. Let me know what you think of it. Comment, subscribe, like, share, all those good things, and enjoy.
Hello, hello.
Yo, oh shit, I don't have my AirPods in. Hold up. I'm a professional, I swear.
You are.
Wait, let me put these in. Wait, can you hear me?
I can.
Can you? Okay, you just said you could. Okay, cool. Hey, what's up? What's going on?
Not much. Oh my God, you're so cute.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Oh, thank you.
It's hot, yo. It is
It
so
is.
hot today. Like it's officially summer. Like I was trying to like convince myself that it wasn't yet because it's still a couple more days, but like it's fucking hot as balls.
Yeah, my California friends have been complaining big time because y'all are in the 90s now.
Just today I think we're hitting 90 because I'm going to a bait party later.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, like how hot is it gonna be? And it's
Yeah.
like gonna be like 90 the highest today.
But y'all don't have air conditioning, right? Or no? Or yes?
I don't have air conditioning in my place now.
Oh
But
no.
I think
Oh
the bait
no.
party that I'm going to will. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be fun. Hey, thanks for talking to me on the pod. Hey, listen, for those of you tuning in, I have, is it Trev? It's Trev,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Owner, host, both of Austin Jacks. So is this a new bait party? I feel like I've never heard of this bait party before.
So Austin Jacks is a jack-up club, just much like Rain City Jacks in Seattle and Denver Jacks, who you've had on the show. Yeah, we've been in operation since 2022.
Okay,
Um,
so fairly
yeah,
recent.
I would say fairly recent. We just celebrated our first year anniversary. It's kind of weird to say. So that's our public anniversary. We also have a private anniversary. So,
Well, I want to
um,
know about this private anniversary. What's the
well, I
difference between
mean.
public and private?
So I started hosting in November 2022. But
Uh-huh.
we went public and we told everybody that we existed on June 18th.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We don't
So essentially you just came out of the closet.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I like that. I
That's our
support
coming out
that.
day. Happy Pride, everybody.
That's right. This is taking place in Happy Pride. I don't know if it's going to be heard during this month, but
Mm,
however, y'all should be prideful
all the time.
24/7
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
I stay gay, bro.
Yes.
I don't need a month. It's like I wake up every morning and I'm just like, dick. No, I'm just kidding. Um, so you're based in Austin?
I am based in Austin, yes.
Okay, I've had numerous conversations about getting my ass and moving to Austin. Do you think a move to Austin is the move?
If you don't like the heat, I would say don't move here.
But I
We
mean,
have
is it
we have
always hot though? Well, it's kind of like California. It's always hot. Like it's always and LA is always warm. Like even in like the winter, like it never dips. Maybe on a cold day, it'll dip below 50.
So we have maybe I would say 2 good solid weeks of winter weather.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, in one of those weeks, the winter weather will try to kill you. So I'm
What do
referring to
you
the ice storm. that we had a couple of years ago.
Excuse me,
Um,
ice storm.
yeah,
You
our
mean there
park
was
is now,
a storm full of ice?
yeah,
Yeah, see, I just feel like Earth hates us.
it does. It's
Like we
it's
be doing
it's
some
like
shit
that.
to it, and it just be like, y'all are fucking my shit up. You gotta go. So I'm gonna
Earth is
create these
tired of our
ice
shit.
storms and burn your ass to a crisp. Like it's not okay.
No,
We only have
but
ourselves to blame, to be honest.
and then also like since you identify as gay, right? You can
Identify as gay.
yes, you
Yeah,
do.
100%. Oh yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Well, we have so the Texas I have to say this because of the nature of our club too. This is something even though
Mhm.
Austin Jacks is not queer or gay, I am, but the club is not.
Mhm.
Um we still have to contend with the Texas legislation and all that stuff. You know, owning a jack off club in the state of Texas is kind of weird. So but also being queer or gay in the state of Texas is also weird. There are a lot of people who have left in the recent years and have moved to LA or, the West Coast where it's more friendly to queer people. But there are a lot of people here, specifically people of color, who are like, I can't leave. I won't leave. And because I'm stuck here, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to march and create all these great events to gather all the queer people together and have a great time.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, anyway.
Well, that's interesting to me because I just always thought, or I was always heard that Austin was one of the progressive states in Texas or
Yeah,
cities. Sorry,
yeah. So
cities in Texas.
In Texas, the big cities are all liberal leaning or blue.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Austin is I would say, the most hippie one of
Okay.
them all. That's
Okay.
our nature. Um, but even still, we're like Greg Abbott, our governor, is not that far down the street. So
Oh,
he's the most
okay.
progressive one out of all of them. So,
Okay.
even though Austin is very liberal, yeah, we still have to contend with Texas legislation and all that stuff. There's a lot of fights back and forth.
So, reading from your website, I feel like it's you're trying to make Austin Jacks like a legal club. Is that what is that if I'm like correcting if I'm reading
We
this
do our
correctly?
best. We do
So
our
right
best.
now it's kind of like an underground thing, like it's underground place where kind of men just kind of meet together for like camaraderie, friendship, and then
Yeah.
the debating happens. Or
Oh
is it
yeah.
specific? People know specifically this is
I would
the place to get
say
naked.
so. It's funny and it's interesting because yes, it is. We try to be underground, but I don't think it's
Okay.
really underground. I think a lot of people know
I
about
mean, I think you have a
it.
really great website. I don't know if that's gonna stay underground for very soon.
No, no, our SEOs, because we're hosted by, hopefully nobody from Squarespace hears this and deletes our website. But we're hosted by Squarespace, and Squarespace does it. And
I
this is
see that.
non-spawn. This is non-spawn.
Yeah.
Squarespace does a really great job with SEO, so it
Mm.
helps us get the word out. Unfortunately, it's
Yeah.
done too well at it. But we have it gets the word out to a lot of men, lots of different types of men, gay, straight,
Hmm.
whatever. Um, and then also their female partners know about us too. So
Okay.
so we're known by female audience. We don't have
Well,
a female audience at
it's
all.
good to be known.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, hey, listen, I feel like if you're gonna go hang out with the boys, quote unquote boys, you might as well just hang out with your dick out, right?
I mean, yeah, yeah. We've had a lot of people tell us their stories of getting permission from their female partners before coming to our events before.
Well,
It's really beautiful.
that's important, I feel.
It is, but some people, think it's like there's also like this culture of like a phenomenon. I won't say culture
Uh-huh.
of men coming into like our group chat, for example, and saying, my wife is not here and I'm gonna jack off all crazy. And I was like, well, the rest of us are like, you should just jack off. Like it doesn't it shouldn't
Yeah,
matter where your wife is there or not. Maybe she can join in too. I don't know. But yeah.
that's true. Wait, where do you have this group chat?
We're hosted on Telegram.
And
like I
anybody can
said,
join it, or you have to be part of the
so
group?
you have to attend an event to join the Telegram. And the reason for that is
Gotcha.
because we've had people in the chat before who didn't understand who we are as a Jackoff Club and thought it was like a oral anal space, and it's like, no, we're just doing
Oh, I
masturbation,
see.
so it kind
Yeah.
of ruins the vibe a little bit. But yeah,
Well, but you also too have, when I was reading the website, you have orientations.
we do online orientations and in
Was
person.
that was that purposeful? What is the goal of an orientation?
Yeah, so the goal of an orientation is to basically set the just introduce ourselves to these people who want to join
Hmm.
an event, and just spell out who we are, how we got started, what types of events that we have, and also go through our code of conduct, which spells out it spells out consent, how to ask for consent, how to say no, um, and then just spells out no oral, no anal, and then also respect everybody's privacy. Don't describe people that you see in the Telegram, at social events, Bate events, to anybody else outside of those spaces because
Hmm.
everybody's on their own journeys of self-discovery and things like that.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
very much Fight Club rules. So yeah,
Yeah, you don't talk about Fight Club. Or
exactly. What
maybe you
happens in
can,
Fight Club stays in Fight Club.
right. You know the Fight Club exists, you just don't know what happens inside the Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's important.
Mm-hmm.
Safely blow their loads. And participate in the Texas tradition of making friends.
Yes. So
What's this?
Texas means friends or friendship.
Wait, the actual word?
Yeah, it comes from
What? From what language?
Cato, which is a native language or native tribe.
Oh,
Hmm.
I had no idea. I
Yeah.
just learned something new.
Texas comes from Tejas or Tejas, Tejas, which is a
Yeah.
Cato word.
Oh, that's so interesting. Okay, so wait, so you're telling me that like Texas people are pretty friendly?
We are typically true
Okay,
Texans.
good.
Yeah,
Are you a true Texan?
I am. I was born in Fort Worth, raised in Waco and Arlington, Texas, so I'm all over the place.
Whoa, you're like
Hmm.
Texas born and bred.
I, yeah, yeah.
You love it?
I do. I do.
Okay.
Despite our government, I think a lot of Texans have a big head about their state, just because it's very unique. It's a big
Hmm.
ass state. It was bigger at some point. Um, it was its own country. So we
Oh
just have a big head
shit.
about it.
That's kind of terrifying though. I don't want Texas to be its own country.
Yeah. It won't happen.
I
It won't
heard some
happen.
shit.
Yeah,
But Texas has some really fucked up laws. Like, doesn't it have fucked up laws against like sex toys? Like, isn't it
yeah,
illegal to like have a dildo somewhere?
I think so. I think that's one of the old laws that still persists, but I don't think it's enforced.
So you mean there's like open sex stores everywhere? Like you
Yeah,
guys have like shops and you can go in and purchase a dildo
yeah,
legally?
yeah. We're not Utah.
But I thought you couldn't. But I thought you couldn't. No shit. But I thought you couldn't sell that stuff. Like I thought you couldn't even have it or sell it.
Yeah,
Am I
yeah.
misunderstanding that
We
law?
have we have sex stores. I think I can't remember what the exact saying is for that law, but it's like you can't have too many dildos.
So
I think there's like
who's regulating that shit?
nobody's regulating that shit. Like
Like,
nobody's
are they
regulating.
tracking every time you come into a thing and be like, did he leave with the dildo? Did he leave with another dildo?
Nobody's tracking that. I think it was like an
That is
oppressive.
insane.
I think it was like a oppressive to women law at some
Oh,
point.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's not surprising.
I think that if I can like glean just like looking at the current state of the law, which I don't like to even talk about politics, but if I can just glean, is like having too many dildos will not inspire you to have sex with your husband, and therefore y'all are not having children, and da 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 da. So I don't know.
Ugh, that is so bizarre.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
crazy.
weird. I don't like to talk about politics either, but listen, it's become very apparent that
Mhm.
shit's gonna get real for us really quick, real
Yes.
soon, come than of this year. Like it's terrifying. Like um I was reading a paper, an article, and just the idea of just like these laws and legislations specifically targeting LGBT queer people is so wild to me that like I don't know, I just can't wrap my head around it being like they're gonna fucking like round us up. They're gonna come into our homes, take us away, and like fucking it just that's what it feels like, and it's my anxiety just kind of tends to go there because I
Yeah,
tend to live my mind or I tend to live my life in my mind like some giant like apocalyptic movie
yeah.
where they're just
Well,
gonna like round us up, put in concentration camps. Like that's not so far-fetched to me. Like it really isn't, and I wouldn't put it past anybody to just be like, let's just get rid of them all. And
yeah.
so I don't know. Yeah.
Well, let's take several deep breaths and have hope that it won't come to that, and also do things to prevent them from happening.
Yeah, and I feel like more than ever, I'm more passionate about like sex work and sex work legislation and rights and like community. And then that's why I started this and like I'm active in the community. And so like um there's just a lot of more education that I myself need to know, and I don't know everything. So like I love having these conversations about Austin and your laws and be like, oh, I had no idea that that was,
Yeah,
a thing, or because I live in such a progressive, a more progressive state,
yeah.
California. California should be its own country.
I
And
I do too.
there's been conversations about it. Let's just cut us off, and then we'll
Yeah,
just like swing over to the left a little bit.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then it could just be like its own thing. But yeah, like I sometimes when I talk to people on the pod or I just talk to people from like out of state, like, I meet beta bros all over social media. Um I clock my own privilege because I'm just like, what? I've never heard of that. Like that's so weird. Like why would you be concerned about
yeah,
that? And I'm just like, oh yeah, I guess I could stay humble.
yeah. It's very difficult for people who live on the West Coast, especially, to
Hmm.
understand how difficult it is to live in a state like Texas. And I love Texas, but I don't like the government
Yeah.
so much.
That's
So
so conflicting.
it is.
How do you deal with that on a daily basis?
I
Lots of self-care, I hope.
lots of self care, lots of self care.
Good.
I just tap into my local community, so I'm part of like a
Yeah.
gay dodgeball league and all that stuff.
That's so
That's also,
fun.
yeah, it's fun and it's a way to like keep our morale up and want to stay
Yeah.
and fight and stuff like that. And then also I started a club called Austin Jacks that
Hmm.
that helps guys, just express themselves sexually with other men, which,
So
yeah.
tell me about Austin Jacks. Like, why did you want to create that space?
Why? Because I saw an issue of, I think for several reasons, but primarily I saw sexual oppression of men
Mm.
wanting to have the types of experiences that you and I have had with other men, so baiting with
Hmm.
other men,
Hmm.
but being scared to do so. And I get so many emails of guys who want to come to our events. They're like, I really want to come, but I'm so anxious and I don't know what's going to happen. And, my dick is too small and all these things. And it's like, part of my job is, in addition to being the organizer and the host and the admin and all this other stuff, is also being kind of like a therapist in a way. I'm not a therapist, but like a
Right.
therapist. I have to put that in that disclaimer. Um, and I just have to say, we're not going to hurt you.
No, I
And
think that's so real.
I think it's also why we have the orientation because up until orientation, there's no face to look at, and there's not a. And so
Mm-hmm.
with the online orientations, at least, there's a friendly face to talk to, and it helps people kind of trust us better. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, no, for sure. I think that's real. I think that's really progressive in terms of like men's health, men's sexuality, to be able to provide a space that men can get curious about and ask questions, particularly about of themselves, of their
Yeah.
bodies, of their sexual orientation, of their sexuality, that typically we don't normally discuss,
Right.
right? So it's a space to just be like, oh shit, like there's this club and I can email someone and it's all private, I don't tell anyone about it. And I can meet this one individual. And if it doesn't go well, okay, then I'll forget all about it. But if it goes really well, then I can start to get more curious and lean in.
Hmm.
And I think that's exciting because I was just talking to a friend. I went on a hike yesterday and I had eaten some really bad junk food that morning or that night before. And in the morning, I was like, oh, my stomach. But I was just like, yo, like, I can't do this to my body anymore. Like, it's changing. And I was like, why don't men talk about this with each other? Like, the fact that my body can't handle greasy foods anymore, or the fact that I have lower back issues. Like, as we age, as we mature, as we get older, like, we're not having these conversations with one another. And
Yeah.
so we're like just shaming ourselves for having a bad body. I'm using air quotes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
men are supposed to be youthful and muscular and strong. Like, well, we all aren't. Like, we age just like
Right.
everybody else. Like, we're not, you know,
Yeah.
all these powerful beings.
Yeah, that's why we have our social meetups too. To kind of just, they happen typically after our bait party. So we'll go to a brewery or restaurant that's near the venue where we're hosting, and we can talk
Hmm.
about that in a second. And we'll just talk about whatever we want to talk about, whatever comes to mind. Guys have talked about how like they don't come because of their anxiety meds or the depression, antidepressants, and stuff like that, or when I turned a certain age, like things changed this way and that way, and so it's a good way for a lot of people just realize and understand that just because you have a dick doesn't mean that it behaves like everybody else's dick, so
That's
that kind of
true.
stuff. Yeah.
No, I think that's so important. I think that's really cool. Wait, you all bait and then you all go get tacos afterwards?
Yeah. Yeah, or pizza or whatever.
Everybody or like the people that are comfortable hanging out?
The people that are comfortable, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not everybody.
Yeah.
And we got that idea from Stumptown Strokes in Portland, another jack-off club. They go to a brewery almost immediately after their base.
There's a jack off club in Portland.
Yes, there's jack-off clubs everywhere. Anytime you're
Okay, you'll
going,
give me some contact info. I just got hit
there
up
you go.
by Motor City Jacks
Oh yeah, they're great.
out in Detroit. Yeah, and so I'm gonna email them this weekend. I think that's fun. I actually love it. I think once I had Paul in the
Hmm.
Seattle Jacks,
He's
then
my
everybody
mentor,
started,
yeah.
oh nice. Then everybody was like, then I started getting the DMs and be like, I have a Jack party and I have one. And so I was like, oh shit, there's like so many. And then I got the Denver Jacks and the Denver Jacks was cool because I got numerous people commenting or DMing me after that episode, being like, had no idea there was a club. Like the only way I found out about it was through your pod, and I was like, okay,
Wow.
this is serving a greater purpose. I want to continue talking to more jack off clubs because
Yes.
people need to know that they exist. Just like any other
Yes.
kind of sexual activity, there's like, there's clubs for bondage and BDSM and all these other things. Well, there's also a space for this.
Yes.
And I think
Yes.
what makes it so unique is like the no sexual orientation part of it,
Yeah.
which is really funny because I don't like masturbation is so universally known
Right. Yeah. I mean,
regardless of sexual orientation.
with oh my gosh, with Austin Jacks, we've had gay, straight, bi, pan, solo, cis. We haven't had trans yet, but we're open to trans people,
Mm,
or trans men in particular.
mhm.
Um, and then we've also had non-binary people with penises join as well. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, we're men focused, but non-binary people with penises can join as well.
When I first started out, and I'll say this because it was a very big learning moment for me. Um, I used to believe that you only had to have a penis in order to be a baiter. Once upon a time, I've since changed my
Mm,
ways. But I would had a conversation, and throughout the years, since then, I've grown so much to just be like, listen, if you have genitals, if you have a
mhm,
body, you have a
mhm.
sexual body,
Right.
and you could be a baiter regardless if you're a person that has a penis or not.
Uh,
And so I'm so happy that you say like, yes, we're all inclusive, like we're open to trans men regard,
mhm.
who don't have a penis. Or they do, right?
They might. Yeah.
And so I think my journey, one of the things that I'm most proud of is like being even more inclusive of that space. And also to like opening my own awareness and my own attractiveness to
Mhm,
others or
mhm.
my did I say that right?
Yeah, your own attraction to other people. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like it's just like I don't know, like I just find that there's a beauty in being solosexual that way because I'm just like
Yeah.
I'm not sticking to certain rules of regulations of my sexuality. Like it's completely inherently mine, and so I'm just willing to like explore it however I choose to explore it.
You just said something that kind of like opened my mind a little bit to
Hmm.
what solo sexuality could be, which is like you've dedicated your whole life to just exploring your sexuality, and that could be with many different types of people, or whatever that may be. It's not just you at home masturbating alone. It's could be whatever you want it to be.
It's all over the place. But I think
That's fair.
that's like the beauty of it. I'm
Oh, I
really
hope so.
excited. I'm really excited by it because I'm just like I went through a phase of like free for all. Like everybody was getting my dick. Like, it was just like this thing. And then it comes in it waves and I can look back on that part of my life because I can document it. I've documented it in photos, videos, conversations. And it's a really great space to be because I can reflect back and think, just like my comment before, like, oh my God, I can't even believe like I used to think that. Like who is that person? It's changed so
Yeah,
much in the 2 to 3 years um since I had that idea and it's like no longer valid. So I love that. But I just also love like I don't know, it comes with self-awareness. It's just kind of like pushing your boundaries and like, really just questioning yourself.
yeah,
Maybe it's just a lot
yeah.
of anxiety.
I mean, maybe just, and I guess I'm coming out now. It's not that big of a deal, but I just um, learned that I'm an HSP, which is, for those who don't know, is a highly sensitive person. So I'm on the
Hmm.
neurodivergent scale, and what that means is energy. I get very drained by so many energy sources. So I'm tuned into everything. I'm tuned into how you're feeling right now on the
Hmm.
call, and
Hmm.
I'm in a sense, because I'm also a caring person. I'm caring for you distantly. Um, that kind of also extends to the club as well. Like a lot of people, when they come to our events, they feel like somebody is there to care for them while they're exploring. Um,
Hmm.
and guys usually say thank you so much they let me know of their gratitude, and that really helps a lot. But it also means being an HSP. For me and my journey, it means that I don't participate a lot in our events. So I just can't have a lot of energy coming at me.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, wow, you're gonna be surrounded by so many people.
Yeah, it's a
Like
lot.
on so many different levels of like horniness. Like not everyone's gonna be in the same place. Like it ebbs and flows in these groups. And how do you
Yeah,
like manage all those emotions? So you say
it's a lot.
you don't
No,
masturbate in the groups.
I
Are you
don't.
just like
No,
helping to facilitate them?
helping to facilitate. I'm also there to monitor, making sure that people follow our code of conduct and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then kind of like helping out with the edging a little bit
How do you
by
help out with the edging a little bit?
by interjecting and saying, "Hey, we have this event coming up," because people will stop what they're doing and they're looking at
Yeah.
me and they're giving me their attention and stuff like that.
Oh, I see, I see, I
Yeah,
see.
prolonging the debate a little bit.
Yeah.
And just also kind of like there to kind of I don't know if you've ever I've never well I've never I don't know if you've ever done like a tantric workshop or not, but the facilitator will sometimes kind of like step in and give encouragement or this technique to try or something like that. So I'll do that too. Because
Yeah.
a lot of guys have never played with another guy before. So I'm like,
Hmm.
when your partner comes, then, you know, spread the sexual energy around his body by, starting from his root. from his dick and then spreading that towards his legs to his chest and that stuff. Give him a little
Yeah.
massage. Those kind of
Yeah.
things. Yeah. So
Yeah. No, I think
yeah.
that's important. I think that's great. I think that's it's really cool to help facilitate and kind of ease people. I sometimes forget to do that because I've been in this space for so long. That I've often I'll get messages and be like, "How do you do this?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, just do this. It's easy." And then they'll
Hmm.
just come back and be like, "Well, okay." And then I'll just be like, "Oh shit, that's not what he was asking."
Yeah.
So then I have to check myself and be like, "Okay, well, everyone's different." But the bait party that I go to, or the one that I'm going to go to now, so the person hosts it like kind of like in a circle, right? So like everyone's kind of like facing each other, and then there's two chairs in the middle,
Wow.
and then men can volunteer to be in the middle and then interact with one another, and
I
everyone's
love that.
watching. Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. It's just like, oh, like there's like a so we there is porn showing, but then there's also like live entertainment, like these two men
Hmm.
um and I think that's really interesting. I feel like maybe if someone's like brand new, they can sit in that chair, then they can have someone that's a little bit more experienced, be like, okay, like here's kind of we can like really kind of slow this down and take it, so you're comfortable. I think that's important too, to kind of like
Yeah.
slow down the process to be like, you don't have to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. You can sit there and I can just play with my own self.
Right. I think
Mhm.
that's something that I would like to do in the future with Austin Jacks is have like workshops like that
Mm.
where, maybe we have a facilitator that comes in and you know, conducts something like that, or
Yeah.
if we have, in America, we don't have a lot of uncut penises, so having somebody who does have uncut penis and shows people who have cut penises how to play with an uncut penis. That's something that when I went to Cock Summit, which is a jack off retreat. So there's clubs and then there's retreats.
I want to
Um,
go to the Cog Summit. Is this the one in San Diego?
it is. It's all outside of San Diego. It's in the Anza Borrego Desert. Usually, typically, I think they've expanded to international and have host a summit in like Germany or something like that.
Okay, do you
And
recommend going?
do it's
Okay.
great.
Yeah. It's
It's
so
hosted
close to me.
by.
It's like a 2 hour drive, 3 hour
You
drive
should
for me.
do it.
I
You should do
should.
it. You should also check out Palm Springs Jacks too. They're
I
relatively
just got
new.
I just got hit up. I love Palm Springs. I'm going to Palm Springs for my birthday. And I just got hit up by someone who hosted or created it. So I'm definitely
Okay.
gonna investigate that. Um but I've been thinking of doing that myself. I've been thinking of like kind of reaching out to these clubs and being like, I wanna come, like, I wanna go to your club and like kind of like help facilitate and I can meet because I really want to just like I've just been so stuck in California.
Yeah.
Not because I just have obligations here. I have a full-time job that doesn't really allow me to travel that often. But when I do have the time away to get away and travel to other places, like I would love to like go visit Detroit Jacks, Austin Jacks, Seattle Jacks.
Mhm.
Like I want to go to these spaces and meet these people, and I feel like that experience could be really life-changing for me, I think.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
And you can play
Um,
with my dick. I have an uncut penis.
there you go. Yeah, I think that would be fun. I've seen your Twitter, so it's very beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah, you you should definitely explore that. I mean,
Yeah,
um,
that's the goal. Like I just feel like I want to keep continue to evolve. Like again, like I feel like I'm so confident, I'm so secure in my own sex that I just feel like I can really um show that to others. But I was having a conversation with my bait buddy. Do you know my bait buddy?
I don't.
They're a baiter. Check them out on social. But I interviewed him last week for the pod.
Oh.
And we were talking about like imposter syndrome. Like I talk about this shit, but I'm not about this shit to other people. And he's just like, that's not true. And I was like, yeah, no, I know you're right. But like, I don't know. I feel like visibility matters for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes some guys are expecting me to play with them, and I'm like, well, somebody has to be. Somebody has to be, the host and monitor and stuff. And then also, like I said, like I answer a lot of emails the day of guys being like, "I'm coming, but I'm so anxious," and so I have to talk them from the ledge, so to speak. And
Um,
it takes a lot of energy. It kind of like zaps my sexual energy.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
want to play.
Wait, so do you host this by yourself? No.
No, so it's primarily me, but I have my co-founder and partner. His name is Daniel.
Okay.
But he's the one that plays. Typically, he doesn't always have to play, but he wants to. He wants to
Right.
be in the mix of everything and kind of see things from that perspective and kind of help guys feel more comfortable from that angle.
Nice. So
Mhm.
it's the both of you owning this strikeout party.
Yes, yes, yes. And
So
then we
it's,
have sometimes we have volunteers that help out with like cleaning up or setting up and all that stuff.
that's important. I
Hmm.
love people that volunteer
Hmm.
because it's like everyone's creating a space for each other. Like this is our space. Like come help out.
Yes.
Um, well, talk to me about like an event. Like when you host an
Yeah.
event, like what's the vibe? Is there porn playing? Do you allow poppers, alcohol?
Hmm.
Tell me.
Unofficially, we allow poppers. We don't allow alcohol. If
Mhm.
you've been drinking beforehand, just make sure that we don't smell you or anything like that.
Yeah,
Just
keep it
because
sanitary.
we want you to be coherent. We want to make sure that you
That's
are
true.
able to instill boundaries whenever you don't feel comfortable or are able to respect boundaries when somebody else does.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
I know, so I've listened to more than half of your podcast episodes, actually. So
Ah,
I know that you are not comfortable in hotel spaces, when they're in parties.
I I think that particular that particular party, I think there was too many people. Like yourself, I am also an HSP. So
Oh,
when there's like too much energy and there's like music and people chatting, it's overstimulating for me.
yeah, yeah.
And I just went to a recent party not too long ago and there was only like 10 to 15 people and I was like, ah, this is a lot better because
Okay,
it was much more chill.
yeah. So what we'll do is like we host at hotels and we'll
Mhm,
get the largest room that they have.
mhm,
So usually it's like a king executive suite or something like that, where it's like, sometimes where there's like a living room and a bedroom, so there's different rooms that you can peruse.
mhm,
Um, and we'll have soft music, chill music playing to kind of keep all the anxiety low. We won't have porn playing. We don't typically have porn playing because hotel rooms make it difficult to kind of jailbreak their TVs so that we can plug in the
yeah.
porn. But sometimes when they do, and we remember to, we'll add some porn. But most of the time, guys don't want it because they're focused on each other and connecting and bonding with each other,
Mhm.
that the porn becomes distracting. So
That's interesting.
nobody's ever told us to not, but nobody's ever asked us to, that they really need it. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that will happen. And then sometimes when we have a newbie, I will this is probably bad of me, but I think they come to appreciate it. I will, after I check you in and, check you in, go through the code of conduct if you need it. If you haven't done the online orientation, I'll walk you in. I'll let you like undress to your comfort. And then when you're ready, I will introduce you to the guys, and the guys will be like, "Hey,"
Oh my God.
which is probably really embarrassing, but also it also just, welcoming too. I think that's what they initially or eventually land on. It's like it feels very welcoming,
Yeah.
and they'll want to come back.
Well,
So
that's always the goal to come
yeah,
back.
okay.
And come. Yes. You don't always have to come. I
No, you
typically
don't.
when I go to bait parties, I feel like I don't come.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like I have a great time. I masturbate and I feel good. I kind of love it though. It like revs me up, and
Mm,
then I leave feeling very horny, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta go home and do something about it. And so then I'll come home and I'll handle myself.
mm-hmm.
So good. No, that's great. I think that's cool. Like I just feel like I don't know. Like big spaces like that just give me a lot of social anxiety. Someone was just like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm just like too hyper aware.
yeah,
But it's nice to like have like a bait buddy for sure. Or just a bro
yeah.
that you can be like, listen, I've been to this thing, come with me, you'll be with me, just like hang out with me for a minute, and then eventually, inevitably, they'll get really comfortable, and then they'll just start exploring the space themselves. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's
I
helpful.
think that's what's also great about not participating. And I hate like bringing this up so many times, but I think that's what's great about just having me there to be there and available because
Hmm.
guys, when they feel anxious, they'll, you know, come to me and be like, "Hey, I'm feeling anxious," and we'll just chat. We'll just talk, and then they'll calm down, and then they're like, "Thank you," and I'm like, "You're welcome, no problem," and then they'll get right back on there. So I'm kind of like a coach in a sense, but not in the traditional, not I guess not traditional, but bait coach realm where I'm
No,
like
I
walking
told
through how to bait.
I completely agree, and I feel like that alleviates a lot of pressure. Um, I think a lot of men that come into these spaces have the idea that they gotta masturbate, they gotta be fully erect, they gotta
No,
present, right? They gotta like show up and like show out.
no,
And I was
yeah,
at this bait party, and I was, playing with this person, and masturbating them, but they weren't getting hard. And at one point, they apologized, and I was like, "Hey, like, don't apologize. Your body will naturally respond to the
yeah,
touch." And so then I started getting curious, and I was like, "Does it feel good? Yes. Okay.
hmm,
Do you want it slower? Yes, please. Okay, so slow it." Lo and behold, we had takeoff. So that's what I'm saying. So it's just like, check in with people and just be like, hey,
yes,
listen, like maybe they're just even too scared to say it doesn't feel good and I want you to stop. You always have
yeah,
that option. You can always just say, like, I just need to do this thing on my own. But I think like the idea that if you're not getting an erection, then you're not horny or you're not enjoying it. And that's not true at
exactly.
all. I can be
No,
completely fasted and be completely turned on by what's happening around me.
right. You might
Like a
have.
boner doesn't always indicate
It
horniness, I
doesn't.
feel.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. You might have poor circulation. You never know.
That's
You know,
right.
everybody's
That's
body is different. But
that's
sometimes
absolutely
guys,
right.
when they're feeling anxious, they'll, the flip side of like saying no when you don't want to do something is also saying what you do want. And so sometimes guys will massage each other or ask for a massage from other
Yeah.
guys. Just like getting the touch will help ground you and put you in the space and time that you're in. So
Yeah,
they'll do
absolutely.
that. Yeah.
And I'm such a slut because I'll just be like, "What do you want, bro?" And he'll be like, can you just like put your ass up in the air?" And I'll be like, "Sure." So I'll turn around, put my, and he'll like, and then it's like takeoff. So I'm very like, yeah, like I'm here to help you like have a good time. So like if people like want to, get aroused by my body, like sure, like this is what it's for. But I'm very just like I'm very team oriented. I want everybody to have a good time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's important just to like, check in. I think another thing too, and it's happened to me where I tend to disassociate a lot, so I'll get stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And having someone touch me or like, kind of like zap me back into this moment, like puts me back into my body. And I think a lot of men can experience that. I don't think they have, or they don't want to, either they don't want to admit it to themselves, they don't have the language to admit or to say that they're disassociated, but that's what's happening.
Yeah.
So like I often like, you just pay attention to people's like, facial expressions or where their eyes are wandering. I learned this in sex coaching. A lot of like
Mm.
sex trauma happens that way. Like you can tell in the eyes, they'll kind of glaze over, and you'll just be like, hey, like touch like a shoulder, or like be like, I'm here, like, bring, we're here, we're a moment, be in the present. You don't have to
Yeah.
do anything, but I want you to come back to this space with me right here, right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot that you started your sex coaching journey. I'm actually wanting to start my own.
Oh, nice.
More in the life coach realm of things, so maybe we'll talk
Yeah.
after this. Um,
Yeah, definitely. I when I did the program, it changed a lot for me. Like I learned so much about myself. I learned about boundaries, consent. I learned about disassociation. Like it brought into a lot of things that happened in my own experience, in my own sexual life, to say like, holy shit, like I didn't realize I was experiencing this. And so now I can see it in others.
yeah.
Because it's true, because you meet people and they won't necessarily tell you their sex history, and there's a lot of people that do have a lot of sex trauma, and so like you
Yeah.
can pick up on the clues and the signs.
Yeah.
um it was a really, actually a really interesting program. I can give you more details about it.
Very cool.
Do you want to play a game?
Sure, let's play a game. I
Do you
didn't
know this
realize we had a
game?
game segment. Oh gosh.
Yes, if you heard my podcast, you would know what the game the game statement
Did
is.
you play did you play this game with Dimmerjacks?
I think I did, yeah. I
Oh,
play it
okay.
I play it sporadically, but now I'm trying to make it like a consistent thing.
Also,
It's a very uh-huh.
I just want to pause real quick and say that it's so cool that you had both of my mentors on your show, and now you're having me on the show. So
Who
thank
was
you
the
so
other
much.
one? It's Paul.
Um, and Denver Jacks,
Jimbo?
Jimbo. Yes, I didn't know if you named him
Yeah.
in the last episode,
Yeah,
but
yeah, no. Jimbo's cool.
my first Jack Up Club was Rain City Jacks, so Paul's. And then I flew or drove out to Denver Jacks and volunteered there as I was starting Austin Jacks as well.
Oh, that's so cool. I love Paul.
Yeah,
He's got a
they're both
great
great.
cock.
I played with it. He's great.
I'm jelly. I see his
Um,
pictures on Bait World and I'm like, you got a massive dick, dude. It's great. Okay, Gunnar Gone. So I'm gonna list some shit off that I'm just like finding interesting in my everyday
okay.
life. There's like no rhyme or reason. But I'm gonna name it and then you're gonna tell me if you goon for it, give me your 2 cents. And if it's not good, it's gotta get gone. And then you tell me why it's gone. We'll have like a heated these things get kind of heated because it's like
Yeah.
a shoe debate. Okay. Number one, Tinashe. There's only one
Oh,
right answer
good.
to this. Okay, very good.
Good.
Very good. See, that
Yeah.
was a test and you just passed
Also been
it.
a nasty girl.
That I wake up that I wake up singing that fucking song.
It's a
I played
mantra.
I played it the other day in the office and I was like, oh, this is a little too much, right? They're like, no, blast that shit. And I was like, okay. I'm so glad that she's having this like resurgence because she's a really amazing artist.
So one thing I goon on is music. So I know
Um,
too many facts. I don't know Tina Shay's full catalog, but I know that she's been around a long time,
she
and
has.
now she's getting her moment. So it's really
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really it's so good. Like it's such a catchy beat. I love it. It's like it could that song couldn't belong to anybody else.
I need like a bait tantric version. So I've been in like something with a cool beat, like a
You know what?
slow.
I want to interview someone that like does that. Like creates like beat tranchic like masturbation tunes. Like I don't know anybody because I love music. Do you know Badermutt?
Oh,
So they're Bader, they usually wear like a pup hood. But
mhm.
he does music and he'll often send me these like tracks that he works on. He's a big Charlie XCX fan. It's like he'll like just like make these bait tracks. I like create like I did like a voice thing for him, and then he like made a beat over it, and it was like us interacting on this beat, and so it was really sick.
That's so cool.
Maybe I'll interview him again. Yeah,
You should. So one you should check out is Big Bro BBXL. Have you heard of him?
yeah, I have heard of it. I think I follow them.
He's a recording artist,
What?
and he makes like bait rap tracks.
Okay, I'm hitting this person up.
You should. And he hosts
Do
his
you know
own
that?
events too.
Do you know the artist Jordy? He he just came out with a
Uh,
song called "Sex with Myself."
that
It's
sounds
like
familiar.
the Bader anthem. You should really check it out. It's
Oh, I
basically
did.
just
Yes,
it's just basically him talking about having sex with himself because he's so sexy.
I love it.
I love it too. Okay, so we good for Tinashe, and everyone should good for Tinashe, and everyone should go check out that song, "Nasty," and play it while you're masturbating.
Hmm.
Number two, butt vibrators.
Um, I goon. I goon for it, just not in the club. We don't allow we don't allow butt plugs, but
So there's like no
definitely
butt play in your clubs.
no butt play. No.
Okay, what if someone wants
Yeah,
to show off their butt?
that's fine.
Okay,
Just as long as nobody goes in anybody's anything. That's a general rule for most jack off clubs. Is
okay.
no penetrative play. But goon outside the club.
Would a foot job be considered penetrative play? Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Someone gave me a foot job at the last bay party. Everyone was okay with it, but it
I mean,
wasn't your
like,
party. So.
I feel like, well, if the toes are going inside of somebody, then
Oh, but
yeah.
what if you're like fucking the feet?
All right,
Like, what if
I
it's feet and the penis is like in the middle?
think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you're essentially penetrating. Well, I guess You have to define penetration, right? Is it going inside your body or is it just penetrating the two
Oh,
surfaces, a hole? Because you can make a
definitely
hole with
hole.
your feet,
But
right?
there's it's not a hole, is it?
Well, you can if you put the feet together like this, then the
Right.
penis.
Then you, but by that same token, then you couldn't use both hands to masturbate.
No, so you're using the feet to masturbate.
I think it's fine.
Okay, perfect. All right,
The
so
only,
we goon for butt biters, but not in the clubs.
yeah.
The only what? What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say, the only feet play that we don't allow in the club is like sucking on toes because we have the no lips below the hips rule.
Got it. Okay, got it. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like it doesn't lead to STIs typically, but we
Right.
just kind of like have a blanket rule of like, just nothing below the hips.
Yeah, it keeps it safe. It keeps it
Yeah.
like general. Okay, cool. Number three, ball torture.
I'm gonna say gone.
Yeah, I was gonna
I don't like pain. I don't like pain. I like pleasure. But I know some people get pleasure from pain, but not for me.
I I want to say a goon watching it, but it's got no. You're not gonna do that to my nuts, bro. They're so sensitive.
Yeah.
But I was chatting with someone on Telegram, and he was sending me videos of this person smacking his nuts, and I was like, "Oh!" And then I was like, "Oh, that's kind of sexy," because they were enjoying it, and I think that's what was getting me off.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think that's I mean, it's compared to two, but I think that's how I feel about giving. Am I giving? Whenever I'm involved in like feet play with another baiter
Uh huh.
and they're playing with my feet,
Uh huh.
like I don't feel anything, but I do get off on them getting off and really just
Yeah.
enjoying a part of my body that I don't typically appreciate,
Yeah.
you know?
That's what I'm
It
talking
feels good.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then also too, like you start to appreciate that part. See, look at you're smiling about it. You're gonna think about it. You're gonna get some full play after
Thinking about
this.
big girl. Yeah.
All right, that was really great. Next, spit play. Are you into spit? Do you like spit? Do you like it
I'm
on your
thinking,
body, in your mouth?
um, I don't know if I'm into it.
What
Like I
is
like my own spit. So
sure.
this is weird. This is something too personal. I like the smell of my own spit. Like it turns me on.
Okay, that's hot.
Yeah.
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 That's very autosexual of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Like I'm not into that. I'm gonna say gone.
I you're gonna say God. Okay. I goon for it when it's just like really when it becomes like a not an intentional thing. Like for
Yeah.
example, if I'm really into a guy and we like start making out and it just gets really nasty. So I like
Yeah.
making out when it's just like tongue and open mouth. Like it's we're
Yeah.
not even like using lips at that point.
Yeah.
And inevitably it just gets really sloppy and so there's just like spit everywhere. That's cool with me.
Yeah.
But if you start like just hogging noogies at me, I'm just like, okay, no, stop.
Yeah, no. So I like it when like, gooners drool, and I like it
Yeah.
when I'm baiting with someone and they will like use their spit to masturbate, to like lube me. So
Yeah.
spit as lube is awesome, but like spitting on my face, I'm not really into that.
I guess we're into spit play with intention. Like, where's this
Yeah.
going? What are we doing with it? Okay, cool. I feel like I've never asked this in the time that I've played, but frauding.
Oh, total goon. Yes.
Did you allow frauding in the clubs?
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a good frauding too.
Oh my gosh. So, like when I was playing with the guys, like I would do have them get into like the King of Clubs position. Do you know what that
Uh-huh.
is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for people who don't know, it's when two guys are like basically butthole to butthole and they're on their backs. So their
Mm-hmm.
dicks are together. So I would like masturbate both of them together and do a frauding situation. And they would be so into it. They
That's
would
hot.
love it to death.
I would love
Yeah.
it too. Cause then you're like, it's
Hmm.
legs on top of legs, and it's just like,
Intertwined. Yeah,
yeah.
and you don't have to
It's
do
just like,
anything. Somebody just do
no.
it for you. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We goon for frauding. Next, espresso.
The song or the drink?
I love that you asked that question. The song.
The song? I
That's
like it.
another one. That's another one that I'm addicted to. That fucking song. So when I was first hearing it, I was like, oh, what is this like cheesy pop track or whatever? And then
Yeah.
I was watching Instagram and someone broke down the lyrics and I was like, this bitch is going off.
She is. It's very empowering. So we're talking
It
about
is.
Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes. Everyone should go listen to the song. I mean, the very first lyrics of that track, and I'm just like, I was captivated. I was like, tell me more.
Yeah.
And she's like an
So
ex Disney princess or something. I
oh, I
don't
didn't
know.
know that. I didn't know
Yeah, I
that. I
think
know
that I think
she's also been around for a long time and just now got
just now I
exposed
get
to.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would say Goon for sure. I like her new song,
Another,
Please, 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 also.
yeah, she's just another girly for the gays.
Yes.
Yeah, we love it. Next, pool parties. I fucking love a pool party. Clothing
I don't know.
optional, even
So
better.
I don't, oh, heck yeah. I don't know how to swim, but yeah, I'm down.
Well,
So
you could
Goon.
just like lean, you could just like hang in the shallow area and just like vibe. I like
Yeah,
doing
that's
that
true.
too, with
That's
like
true.
a margarita.
We have a thing, we have a thing here in Austin. I don't know if y'all have it there in LA called the Bear Dunk or
Hmm,
Chunky Bear Dunk or something like that. Chunk Dunk or I
no,
don't know what it is.
what is
But it's
that?
basically like a bear pool party. And
That sounds like fun.
The Austin Motel will host it. Austin Motel is an iconic hotel in town. They'll host it, and yeah, it's cute.
Y'all should do like a joint party together.
We should.
Not like not even a sexual one, just like host like a part like a pool party and be like brought to you
Hmm.
by blah blah blah, and then you have drinks, and
Yeah,
you can tell people about the club, and then you can
yeah,
send them to the
exactly,
club. It's a great
exactly.
idea. Okay, next and the final one, bukakis.
Oh, good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think I participated in my first bukkake when I went to New York Jack's 44th anniversary in March. And a prominent, I would say, I don't remember their name, but they're a prominent um, content creator on Twitter.
Hmm.
I came on him, but also we allow bukkakis in our club too. So I'll be like, if anybody wants to be the bukkake boy, let me know, and I'll make the announcement for you.
Oh,
So yeah,
nice. And you
yeah,
designate that person to get the loads.
mm-hmm,
That's so
mm-hmm,
nice. So you're like
yeah,
fulfilling fantasies at Austin Jacks.
heck yeah.
We love that. That was our game.
Oh,
Yeah,
they could go
wasn't
on
that
for more
fun?
for hours, and I would enjoy it.
I know. I try to like think of new things. I try not to be like repetitive with all the things. I have to like look back at my notes and be like, I already asked this. But I guess I could always ask again and just get different perspectives from different people.
Yeah, true.
But I like to keep it fresh. I like to keep things
Yeah,
fresh on the Bate Escape podcast.
nice. Fresh
um,
and funky.
that's me. Hey, listen, thanks so much for chatting with me about on this podcast. I'm so glad that you have the space in Austin, that men who are curious about masturbation or just, want to bond and have a unique space to share their desires. You have it available. So where can people find more about Austin Jacks, you, and all other things that the club is doing?
Yeah, so you can find us if you want to follow us on all the things. AustinJax.club is a great one-stop shop for everything. So we're on Blue Sky, FetLife, Bait World, Twitter, X, everywhere, and you can find us all there. If you want to check out our website, it's AustinJax.com. And then yeah, um, yeah. Thank you again for having us on your show. Like I said, I'm a fan because I've been listening
Thanks.
since almost the beginning. So,
I
uh,
appreciate. Oh my god, the beginning. Have you heard the
oh
ones where I'm just
man,
like solo by myself?
yeah.
You have? Oh shit.
Uh-huh. I went on a road trip around. I was living out of my car in 2021, and I went on a road trip all around. So I was in California a few times, and I would just listen to your podcast.
Oh my god, that's so amazing. Someone brought it up to my attention the other day, and I was like, I have not heard those preliminary, those few early times. I was like, damn. And then went back to listen to it, and I was like, who is this person? I was in such a weird space when I was creating those, and it's so different to hear it now.
Yeah.
But I left them up because they were so honest. It was a
Yeah.
very real, like visceral time in my life where I just was going through so much. And
People love that though.
but you could hear it in my voice too. Like it was very sad. I was just like, oh shit. And I was like, what the fuck? This isn't the vibe that I need. But
I
yeah,
don't
they
think I
exist.
I don't think I got that impression. I think
Okay,
also it
good.
made sense because it was during the pandemic. So everybody was like,
Yeah, it
what the
was during
heck
the
is going
pandemic.
on?
You
Yeah,
know, for better or for worse, that damn pandemic led to a lot of cool things for a lot of people.
it did.
Um, you know, sucks we to
It's
go through that.
it's part of why Austin Jax is like taking off.
See,
Yeah.
maybe it was a good thing for baiters.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
fucked up to say.
Yeah.
It is. I'm sorry.
No, no, actually,
I was gonna
it's
say like
not.
maybe I was just saying like maybe it was a good thing that the pandemic happened for baiters, but I was like no, it was bad because people died.
Oh, yeah, no. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
both things can be true.
That is true. I'm learning that like there you can hold space for both. Like two things could be true at the same time. That's true.
Exactly.
Um, cool. Thanks so much again, Trev. My guest for the host of Austin Jacks. Thank you so much. I'm your host, BC Beta. You can find me anywhere under that handle. And thank you for supporting the show. Any final words you would like to say before we log out of here?
Um, no, just continue masturbating and have a great time.
Yes. And if you're going to be going to Austin, or if you're curious about it, make sure that you sign up for that orientation.
Yes, please.
And then you'll meet Trev, and Trev is so nice.
Hi.
And he's
Hi,
really
bye.
nice. And he's really nice to look at too. Okay, that's the end of our show. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye, y'all. Yo, what's up? It's Beasley. Yo, did you like that episode of the Bait Escape with Austin Jacks? I did. I love talking to Trev about his club and all the wonderful things that they're doing for Austin Jacks. Go follow them on Twitter X. Their handle is Austin Jacks Club. Check out all the wonderful things that they're doing and help support that club if you're in the Austin area. Hey, listen, I love producing these episodes for you. Do me a favor, go to your favorite podcast host platform and give this podcast a really high rating. It helps with visibility, it helps with the algorithm, and it just gets some more eyes on this podcast. And I want to bring it to as many people as possible and share the joy of masturbation with everyone all over the world. As a reminder, please subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, tell your coworker, tell anyone that's interested in masturbation culture or sex talk in general. And I'm sure that they're going to have a really, really great time. As always, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Bait Escape podcast. These podcasts come out every 2 weeks, and I always strive to get really fun, interesting, informative guests to come on the show and just talk about all things masturbation. Also, remind you that I have the Bate Escape hotline that you can call in with your questions, comments, inquiries, sex stories. I want to hear all about it. That number is 747-292-1058. Call that number, leave a message. I'll listen to it. If it's great, I'll play it on the air, and my guests and I can chat about it. Again, thanks so much. You can follow me on BC Bader on all things social media, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks.